Hey. So today we're going to be talking about the very controversial topic of male privilege.
But first, we want you guys to know what a privilege is. A privilege is a special right or advantage that is immunity granted or available for a special person or group.
And now, what is male privilege? Male privilege is a concept within sociology for examining social, economic, and political advantages or rights that are available to men solely on the basis of their sex. A man's access to these benefits may vary depending on how closely they match their society's ideal of masculine norms.
Now we're going to get into the topic of what is white privilege. White privilege is basically the benefit that white people have over non-white people, particularly if they have benefits from economical, social, or political ways.
Before we go any further, we'd like to pause here to let you discuss these ideas first.
One of the things about privilege, especially things like white privilege or male privilege, is that you don't think about it very much. It's being in an out-group where you are constantly reminded of it. It's not when you're in a majority or a privileged group. And so I try to check myself and make sure I try to understand the factors that help explain why things are going well. And I do think it's simply harder for candidates of color or for female candidates, and I'm very mindful of that. The only thing I know how to do about that from where I'm sitting is to try to be true to a message and a vision that's meaningful and to be as respectful as I can of the others. I don't view myself as having opponents, but competitors.
For people of color. I would like to go back to the idea of male privilege. I still haven't heard a right afforded, or same thing with race, I still haven't heard a right afforded to someone who is a white male not afforded to, say, a black female. But we not agree that that's pivotal. If we're going to say there is systemic discrimination that needs to be rectified, we would need to be able to find in 2018 at least one example of systemic discrimination. Okay. Do you have any statistical data to prove that black men with nothing more than an eighth of weed go to prison?
I couldn't give you the exact statistics, but there are several accounts of it, and it's not unknown. It's pretty much common sense that blacks are way easily more arrested than white men.
Well, apparently it's also been common sense that the majority of women were pushing for the right to vote and that white men didn't support them. So we're trying to deconstruct some of these ideas that people maybe assume are common sense but are factually inaccurate. Now, the truth is men as a whole are much more likely to be incarcerated than women. Okay. Men as a whole, even white men, get far more harsh sentencing for the same crime.
I think they should have a harsher punishment.
Well, hold on a second, but black men are shooting each other in record numbers as well. That's not really relevant to the point.
Seriously, I mean, these men kill young black men and then walk free. Like, your life and your privilege is fine, but black people are dying. The system is racist.
What if I were to tell you that statistically that's untrue?
Then I would want to know the statistic.
Yeah, what if I would tell you that actually white males are more likely to be shot by police? It's about male privilege, but you seem to really focus on the race issue. So let's talk about police brutality. Police brutality is an example of systemic discrimination, white male privilege.
Yes.
Also.
Because black men are killed at traffic stops, black women included. I mean, there are unjust killings in jail that mysteriously,
What's interesting is how quickly people start to presume that you don't know the math behind your own work. And I'm always taken aback by that strange presumption, which I will frankly say I never experienced before and I never see my male peers go through, which is that maybe I'm good at leading science projects, but surely I don't know the technical details. And it kind of came out of nowhere that just overnight people stopped asking me math questions. When Joe and Joan are doing the same quality of work, what extra work does Joan need to do to get the same chance for a promotion? What we found was Joan needs to go to more prominent schools for longer periods of time. Here in the States, paying those extra tuitions, not earning salaries. They need to spend longer at lower ranked jobs. There really is a monetary tax imposed on women. And in the tech industry in the US, That's roughly $250,000. It's a tax applied to you simply because you don't fit the norm. It's the tax on being different.